to do a quick video on the kettlebell jump squat. And so a couple of key things we want to keep in mind. Like with all squats, we want to make sure that we don't allow the knees to cave in. Now, I'm just going to say this, but I've heard lots of Olympic weightlifting coaches say, well, lifters do it, Olympic weightlifters do it. That doesn't mean it's good for the knees, okay? So just because you can get away with it doesn't mean necessarily it's not going to wear and tear over time and cause a problem. When you have valgus stress, it is going to wear on your knees. It is detrimental to the knees. Do not cave your knees when you squat, period, end of story. If you disagree with that, that's fine. You're entitled to be wrong. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to squat down. We're going to keep our feet flat, by the way, and shove the knees out, okay? Now, one of the problems is when people shove the knees out, sometimes they roll onto the outer parts of their feet. You don't want to do that either. So keep the feet flat, shove the knees out. Make sure when you're landing with impact, right, so with a jump squat, when you're landing with impact, you land flat and those knees go out just a little bit, okay, so they don't cave in. If you cave in on impact, you're going to blow your knee. Now, so that's one thing we want to make sure. The other thing, when we look from the side, when we squat down, we want to keep a nice flat back. We don't want to round, okay? Also, ideally, we want to break parallel. And so we want to go past parallel. You see that there? We're going to go past parallel, okay? At least the hip getting a little bit lower than the knee, because when they've done some studies on this, at 90 degrees is the greatest point of stress or shearing stress on the knee. That is not the point you want to stop and reverse, okay? Especially when you're doing a dynamic movement, right, a ballistic movement, like a jump squat, where you're landing, right, and coming down with more impact, because that gravity's pulling you a little bit after that jump. So you want to make sure that you do some of those things. Chest up, look forward. This whole looking up to the sky nonsense, I don't know where people got that from. You don't look up when you squat, end of story. I learned that in bodybuilding. It's wrong. I did it for years. You're not going to do that anymore. So, hopefully. So, how do we get the kettlebell in place? Well, we swing it up into what we're going to do, almost like we're going to do a halo or a 360, whichever you feel like calling it. But we stop at the back. Then what we're going to do, watch my hands here. We're going to grab, okay, and let our elbows go straight up and let this kind of hang on your back. But you want to make sure you secure it to your back. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple things here. So as I squat down, okay, I'm going to squat down, I'm going to jump, squat, jump, squat, and jump. Okay, when I do that, all right, I'm securing it to my back. Watch what happens when we do this. Okay, go down, we jump. You see, what we don't want to happen is we don't want the bell coming off our back as we jump and come down and bam, slam us in the spinous process. So those little bumps on your back, those are called spinous processes. We don't want to slam your spine. Make sure you're not doing that, okay? So we want to keep it a nice controlled movement, so start off light, build up. This is something you want to do for higher reps. This is not a heavy movement. You're generally, you may, but you're generally not going to grab a 200-pound kettlebell and start doing jump squats with it. So, see if there's any other key components. Keep your core tight the whole time, that's always. These are all the same components of a squat. The last thing, sometimes people have a problem. So once we get to this position, this is kind of hard to get the bell off my back. So what I do is, I bend slightly, I slide up, I re-grip the horns, and then I continue my halo or my 360, and then I can set it down. If you have any questions, let me know. That's the jump squat. Stay strong. I'll see you next time.